Happening today, convicted killer Scott Peterson will attend a court hearing via Zoom that could allow him to get a new trial. An LA-based group will try to convince a judge it has new evidence that could prove someone else killed his wife, Laci Peterson, and unborn son. KTLA's Eric Spillman in the newsroom now with more on that for us. Eric, good morning.
Morning, Jessica. Scott Peterson has a new legal team from the Los Angeles Innocence Project. This is a nonprofit group that only takes cases when they say there could be new DNA evidence that might prove a person has been wrongly convicted. This morning, they're going to ask a judge in Northern California to let them do some investigation. Scott Peterson is serving a sentence of life without the possibility of parole for the murder of his wife, Laci. She was 8 months pregnant with their unborn son, who they plan to name Connor. She disappeared in December 2002. Scott told investigators he'd gone fishing alone in the San Francisco Bay on Christmas Eve, and that when he came back to their home in Modesto, his wife was gone. Laci and Connor's remains washed ashore in the San Francisco Bay 4 months later. Scott Peterson had been having an affair with a massage therapist named Amber Fry. He was arrested in San Diego. Prosecutors alleged he'd been planning to escape to Mexico. He was carrying nearly $15,000 in cash and had dyed his hair blonde. Peterson is now 51 years old. He'll appear for his court hearing this morning via video from Mule Creek State Prison. He spent the last 20 years behind bars. His lawyers from the LA Innocence Project say their new evidence includes a burned-out Chevy van. It was discovered near Peterson's home in 2002. Inside was a mattress that looked like it was stained with blood. Peterson's attorneys say that evidence was mishandled and was never properly tested. And they also want the court to let them do DNA testing on a hammer found at a home across the street from the Petersons. It was left there after a burglary that took place right about the time that Laci disappeared. One theory is she may have been killed because she witnessed that crime.
What's key is that now the Innocence Project brings technology in DNA and other forensic evidence that's 20 years down the road from the time of Laci and Connor's murder. Is that DNA evidence available to be tested? What does it show?
But one of the 12 jurors who convicted Peterson says a lot of the so-called new evidence has already been investigated and discredited. And he says the evidence presented at trial was clear. Here's an interview with one of the detectives who actually investigated this case.
Yeah, I don't really see anything new that's come across here. It's all stuff that seems like it's being rehashed one more time. I welcome them to DNA test more evidence. Feel free to do it. I have no doubt we got the right guy.
Today's court hearing begins at 9 a.m. in Redwood City, just south of San Francisco. It's what they call a status hearing. It is just the beginning of this process, but it's possible the judge could